how many times have I heard people talk about my spouse is disconnected? That's like the top complaint that I get. And there's 4 scenarios that I hear about most often. If you're trying to reconnect after a big argument and they've gone quiet, right? Maybe they're flooded. Maybe they're really still angry and they don't want to say something that they're going to regret, or they just don't even know what to say, or they don't have the skills to communicate how they're really feeling. You also might be living in the house together, miles apart, not just in the roommate phase, but to the point where you're living basically separate lives. And this is more for longer term marriages. I see this most often when couples have been together for 20 plus years, and there's been a lot of accumulation of things that have gotten in the way of the connection. And so the impetus or the desire to want to reconnect on the part of the person who's shut down is really not there. And so you don't have as much leverage. That's a very difficult place to be in. The third scenario that I see a lot is if there's a period of grief or depression or stress where one partner withdraws. So this could be something really bad at work. This could be, I worked with a couple where the husband got laid off and it was his identity and he really didn't know what to do with himself. And there was a lot of hurt. He took it really personally. And that was so overwhelming to him that he didn't know how to connect with her and he wasn't keeping her in the loop. And she felt very alone and unable to reach him. And it wasn't even personal, but it impacted her a lot. And it could be something that you're going through together. Sometimes if there's a death in the family, or you have an illness in a child or medical issues, things like that are really stressful, and you just don't know how to stay connected because you're just busy surviving individually. And then the fourth scenario that I see is that there might be difficulty navigating the aftermath of betrayal or a broken trust in some capacity. It could be broken agreements. It could be financial infidelity. It could be emotional infidelity. Anything where you're feeling like there's been a massive breach and now you're just walled off or they're walled off to protect themselves. The common thread in all of these scenarios is that the walls are up, there's a lot of armor, and you feel shut out and you feel really alone, and attempts to talk about it they just don't lead anywhere. And so you end up feeling really powerless. And I think that what happens is that when people are in that place of powerlessness, one of two things happen. They either panic and pursue harder. They can even become an angry pursuer, trying to demand the connection, or you might just shut down yourself in response to their shutdown as a way of protecting yourself. Both responses, they're very understandable, but they can make things worse.